Hey Joe fans, I'm John Setzler. Welcome back to the Kamado Joe Cooking Channel. Here it is, the first part of May. Summer's just around the corner, so we're going to get back to some basics today. We're going to fire up the Kamado Joe Classic and put together a smoked bacon, onion, and cheddar burger that will guarantee to knock your socks off. So let's get started. No matter how much you might try, you cannot have a top-notch burger without top-notch ingredients. So I have this beautiful looking ribeye steak here that's about 1 pound. I'm going to cut this into chunks and we're going to run this through our meat grinder. Now that we have our ribeye ground up, I'm going to take an idea that I got from Myron Mixon's book. From his Whistler burger recipe, I am going to add 1 packet of the grocery store variety ranch dressing mix to this ground beef, and then I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of a barbecue rub, and in this case today I'm using the Kamado Joe brisket rub. You can use any kind of barbecue rub you like on this, and then I'm just going to take a wooden spoon and we're going to mix all that together. And then we're going to cover this and put it in the refrigerator until we're ready to make our hamburger patties. I've got 1 Kamado Joe fire starter right here in the middle of my charcoal and the Classic. I'm going to fire it up and I'm going to let this grill burn with the lid open for about 10 minutes. Okay, now that we've got our fire going, I have put my accessory rack in the lower position on the divide and conquer rack, and I'm going to set my half moon heat deflector on one side of the accessory rack, and on the upper level I'm going to set my Kamado Joe cast iron griddle, and today we're going to cook on the rib side up. So I'm going to leave that up. We're going to leave this side open. We're going to let the grill warm up to about 300, somewhere between 275 and 300 degrees today, and I'm going to do that by setting the bottom vent open about 2 inches, and I'm going to leave the daisy wheel on the slider fully open, and I'm going to close the slider all the way, and we're going to let the grill temp come up, and if I need to make any adjustments down, I will close the daisy wheel up, or if I need to warm it up some, we'll open the slider. So we're just going to let this grill sit until we get up to about 300 degrees. Okay, I've taken my ground ribeye and formed it roughly into 2 half-pound patties. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my burger press, and I have a couple of small slices of Vidalia onion here, and I'm going to set those in the middle of my burger press ring, and then I'm going to set a patty right on top of that, and then we're going to use the press to form that and just press that onion right into the patty where it's kind of recessed in there. And then we'll just take the ring back off the burger press, and then I'm going to use my spatula and we'll flip that guy over and show you we've got our onion there. So I'm going to do the other one just like that. Okay, so now I've got both of these done. We're just going to let these sit and rest while we go to the grill. Okay, our grill is still coming up to temperature. It's up to about 250 degrees or so, and I have put a couple of peachwood chunks down here on the fire to create a little bit of smoke. And we're going to get going here by putting a few slices of this thick cut bacon out here on the grill and let this get started. We're going to give this probably a 15 or 20 minute head start on those burgers. So we'll let that get going and then we'll be back shortly.
John, those bad boys look really, really good. So let's put them on the grill.
Okay, our bacon's got a little bit of a head start. So I'm just going to kind of fold that over, and we're going to let it continue to cook. I'm just going to make a little bit of room on here for these burgers, and we're going to set these guys right here on the grill, and I'm going to let these cook until I get to an internal temperature in there. Probably I'm going to start looking at them at about 125 because we're going to do a couple other things. So we're going to close the lid back up, let these guys continue to cook, and we'll be back shortly. Okay guys, we're cooking right along. These burgers have gotten up to about an internal temperature or so of 115 degrees. So I am going to put a little barbecue sauce on them. And if you remember our Ease Best Smoky Mountain finishing sauce, I'm going to use some of that on here. I'm just going to put a little bit on there and spoon over it, and we're going to let that kind of glaze up on here while these burgers continue to cook. Okay folks, as our burger temperature continues to come up to close to 130 here, I'm going to top each one of these with a little slice of some thin sharp cheddar. We're going to close the lid back and let that melt, and these guys are just about ready. Okay, our cheese has had time to melt on there, so what we're going to do next is take a little bit of this bacon and kind of tear those slices in half, and we're going to lay that bacon right on top of these burgers. Man, I wish you could smell that. If you noticed, I put 3 pieces of bacon on the grill. One of those is for the cook. Okay, I've taken these bad boys off the grill, and I've got a nice Kaiser roll here, and we're going to plate one of these up. I'm just going to set that patty right there, and I am not putting anything extra on this. We're going to eat that just like that. I'm going to take a knife and we're going to slice it in half, and we're going to have a look in there. There's what our burger looks like, so let's have a taste. Okay folks, it's time for the taste test, and once again I wish you could smell this. Man. Folks, you can't buy a burger like that. You just can't. No matter where you go, you're not going to find a burger that's got that level of love in it. Man, the ground ribeye, you can't find a ground ribeye burger. Maybe some specialty shops that sell stuff like that, but treat yourself. Try this at home. Give us a try. Let me know what you think. Join us on Facebook, facebook.com/KamadoJoe. Follow us on Twitter @KamadoJoe. And until next time, this is John Setzler with Kamado Joe Cooking Channel.